Outlander fans were blindsided by a revelation so explosive, it sent shockwaves rippling across the entire fandom. In a recent interview, Sam Hogan broke years of silence and directly confronted the decades-long swirl of speculation surrounding the extraordinary chemistry between himself and co-star Katrina Balfe. His words ignited a firestorm of emotion online, leaving viewers torn between what belongs to the world of fiction and what might be rooted in truth. For years, Sam and Katrina's portrayal of Jamie and Claire Fraser has been hailed as one of television's most mesmerizing love stories. Their deep connection, lingering eye contact, and magnetic pull toward each other fueled endless theories that something real existed behind the cameras. Then Hogan stunned fans with a single sentence. "My feelings for Katrina are real." The confession detonated across social media, but Sam wasn't finished. He added, "We've shared a journey like no other. My admiration and love for her as a person are genuine, but our relationship is built on respect and friendship. What we have is unique, but not what people assume." Katrina, who has long maintained that her relationship with Sam is a deeply cherished friendship, has repeatedly emphasized the importance of drawing a line between her personal life and the characters she brings to life. Married since 2019, she has often brushed aside rumors, but Sam's recent statement reignited the discussion with renewed intensity. Some fans celebrated his honesty. Others worried it could invite unwanted pressure into Balfe's private life. One viewer tweeted, "We always knew their connection went deeper than acting. Sam finally said it." Another countered, "Respect and friendship are real feelings too." Their bond is special precisely because it isn't romantic. Industry insiders speculate that Sam's candid revelations may influence how audiences experience the show's final season. With Outlander nearing its end, every emotional moment between Jamie and Claire may now be scrutinized more intensely than ever. And yet Hogan's honesty also reinforces why the Fraser love story resonates so powerfully, because the actors' own connection, while platonic, is grounded in authenticity. Outlander's sweeping success, adapted from Diana Gabaldon's beloved novels, has redefined historical romance on television. Its breathtaking Scottish landscapes, emotionally rich storytelling, and electrifying leads in Sam Hogan and Katrina Balfe have earned the series a devoted global audience. Fans don't simply watch Outlander, they live it. They travel to filming locations, immerse themselves in Scottish traditions, and journey into the past that the show brings to vivid life. But this passion has collided with controversy. In recent years, Outlander fans have been accused of disrespectful behavior at Culloden Battlefield, the actual site where the Jacobite army fell in 1746 during one of Britain's bloodiest conflicts. Culloden is not a set or a backdrop. It is hallowed ground. Thousands of Highlanders died there in a tragic defeat that forever altered Scotland's future. The National Trust for Scotland NTS, which oversees the site, has long fought to preserve its sanctity. Yet the surge of Outlander tourism has created tension. Reports show fans picnicking on graves, staging elaborate cosplay photo shoots in full Highland regalia, and leaving modern trinkets tied to fictional characters rather than honoring the Jacobite dead. The uproar reached its peak when photos emerged of fans reenacting scenes directly on clan grave markers, some posing romantically atop stones that memorialize real soldiers who perished. For many Scots, these actions cross an unforgivable line. Critics argue that blurring fiction with history dishonors the memory of those who died. NTS officials have issued repeated reminders. Culloden is a war grave, not a theme park. But despite calls for respect inappropriate behavior continues frustrating locals, historians, and descendants of the fallen. The tension is made more complex by Outlander's deep narrative ties to Culloden. Season 2 built toward the doomed uprising, dramatizing the catastrophic battle and the heartbreaking separation of Jamie and Claire. For devoted fans, visiting Culloden feels like walking into the emotional apex of their favorite story. a pilgrimage to where fictional love met real historical tragedy. But to Scott's Culloden is not romantic. It is trauma. It is loss. It is national memory carved into the earth itself. This clash mirrors controversies at other dark tourism sites worldwide, Auschwitz Ground Zero and the WWI battlefields of France, where visitors sometimes fail to grasp the gravity of the past. But Culloden stands apart because fiction plays such a dominant role. Many tourists arrive with more knowledge of Jamie Fraser than of the Jacobite cause, and the result can be a troubling confusion of fantasy and fact. Residents near Inverness report daily busloads of tourists in tartan costumes eager to snap photos, but oblivious to the battlefield's historical weight. Some stage reenactments or love scene recreations without realizing they're standing on mass graves. Historians warn that this romanticized lens risks replacing the truth with a watered-down fairy tale. The Highlanders who died were real men, young, impoverished, and fighting for a doomed cause. To treat their graves as props is, critics argue, a dismissal of their sacrifice. Even within the fandom, the controversy has sparked division. Many Outlander fans are horrified and have issued calls for respectful behavior at historic sites. Fan groups now circulate guidelines urging travelers to learn the history, approach Culloden with reverence, and avoid theatrical photos. Some fans have even organized donations for the conservation of the battlefield. Others defend leaving tributes to fictional characters as harmless expressions of affection. Sam Hogan and Katrina Balfe themselves have stepped into the debate, urging fans to respect Scotland's history. Both actors have spoken of the emotional burden of filming at Culloden and the responsibility they felt to honor its past. Hogan has repeatedly reminded fans that while Jamie Fraser may be fictional, the men of Culloden were not. The controversy has also highlighted the role of tourism and media industries. Many tour companies market Culloden as a romantic Outlander destination. Souvenir shops blur the lines between fiction and reality, selling Outlander merchandise alongside historical texts. Critics argue that this commercialization encourages fans to treat the site more like a narrative playground than a memorial. Despite this, some historians see opportunity. Outlander's enormous cultural influence could be harnessed to educate millions about Scotland's history. With collaboration between fan groups, heritage organizations, and the entertainment industry, emotional enthusiasm could be transformed into respectful engagement, turning a controversy into a blueprint for responsible cultural tourism. At its core, the debate reflects a deeper tension: memory versus entertainment, reverence versus romance. Culloden is a place of grief and mourning, yet also a symbol of fictional love and sacrifice. Balancing these truths is essential if the battlefield is to remain both accessible and respected. As the controversy continues, one truth is undeniable. Culloden is far more than a filming location. It is a sacred landscape bearing the weight of history, where fiction and reality collide in powerful and sometimes uncomfortable ways. Whether fans will ultimately temper their passion with respect remains unknown, but the conversation has already prompted meaningful reflection on the responsibilities of fandom and the preservation of cultural heritage. Meanwhile, as Outlander approaches its finale, emotions among cast and fans are at an all-time peak. Sam Hogan has admitted he has been brought to tears repeatedly as he confronts the end of a journey that has defined both his career and his personal life. His vulnerability has resonated deeply with fans who themselves are grieving the loss of a show that became a source of comfort, inspiration, and community. When news of the final season broke, social media filled with tributes. Fans shared how Outlander helped them through grief, loneliness, illnesses, and emotional battles. But it was Hoyan's own confession, his emotional breakdowns while filming the final scenes, that drove home the weight of the farewell. He described finding himself overwhelmed as he realized he wasn't just saying goodbye to a role, but to an entire world he had inhabited for over a decade. Co-stars Katrina Balfe, Richard Rankin, and Sophie Skelton echoed his grief. But for Hoyan, the loss cut especially deep. Jamie Fraser is not merely a character. He is a part of Sam's identity. Hogan admits that Jamie's courage, devotion, and resilience have shaped him profoundly. Traits he will carry long after filming ends, and though he refrained from spoilers, he revealed that filming Jamie's final scenes with Claire shattered him emotionally. Even after the director called cut, he couldn't stop sobbing. For fans, these insights confirm what they have long felt. The emotional truth on screen reflects the emotional truth behind the scenes. The Outlander finale marks the close of a cultural era, one that brought Scottish history into global consciousness, inspired tourism, launched careers, and forged an unbreakable bond between actors and audience. For many viewers, Jamie and Claire feel real, and Howan's tears seal the authenticity of that connection. His grief mirrors the grief of millions who feel they are losing cherished companions, not just fictional characters. Beyond the emotional devastation lies Outlander's legacy. The series elevated Scotland's culture landscapes and history in unprecedented ways. Fans worldwide now explore the Highlands, study Jacobite history, and celebrate Scottish traditions. And Sam Hogan has been at the center of this renaissance. Through his whiskey brand charity work and constant advocacy for Scotland, he has embodied the spirit of Jamie Fraser in real life. The end of Outlander is therefore not only the end of a story, but the closing of a defining chapter in global pop culture. Hogan began the series in his mid-30s. Now, a decade later, he steps away as a different man. He describes the experience as losing a part of himself and emotional bereavement. Fans have responded with overwhelming empathy, organizing online vigils, sharing collective memories, and creating virtual gatherings to honor the finale. His tears are their tears. His farewell is their farewell. And yet through the heartbreak, Hogan expresses deep gratitude to Diana Gabaldon, to Katrina Balfe, to the cast and crew, and to the fans whose passion transformed Outlander into a worldwide phenomenon. The end may hurt, but the legacy will endure, etched into television history, into Scottish culture, and into the hearts of millions who found love, solace, escape, and identity in the story of Jamie and Claire Fraser.